Hey, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about the horoscope of Hillary Clinton. The problem right off the bat, we don't know her exact birth time, which means we can't really do an in-depth analysis. However, let's look at the parts that we can interpret, which are planets and signs and planetary aspects, okay? Quick disclaimer, I'm not trying to shape any opinions here, and I'm going to try to keep everything as objective as possible. Fair enough? All right. With that being said, let's start. The first thing that stood out to me was the Pluto-Mars conjunction in Leo. Pluto is always a difficult planet to interpret, but overall we can safely say that it surely intensifies the Mars, which we could interpret as assertive, lots of energy, powerful, extremely driven, and ambitious. I mean, she's a freaking beast when it comes to working, self-realization, and making her dreams happen. All right, she gets shit done. That's for sure. Together with Saturn in Leo, she's definitely, kind of a natural born leader. She has very strong leadership skills. However, the other side of the coin would be power hungry, ruthless, elbow mentality, anger issues, tyrannical, and overpowering. So, in essence, she's an intense person, to say the least. The same theme is emphasized by the heavy Scorpio concentration. So, let's just talk a little bit more about this whole Scorpio theme. Associated attributes with this configuration are persuasiveness, particularly the Venus Mercury conjunction, influential, and also she can cut you in half with words and make a grown man cry, okay? She has a love for power, which is Venus and Scorpio particularly. Lots of sexual energy, sarcastic and a cynic, no BS kind of person. But also, she might say one thing, but her own opinion might be different. With Scorpio, you never really know what you're getting because there's so much going on behind the curtain, which could also signify corruption, excuse me, and deals being made behind closed doors. Okay. Anyway, Mercury Saturn square. Communication is direct and calculated, also authoritative, especially her speech. Her thinking is structured and methodical, probably great at time management and great productivity. Another thing that stands out is that Venus Mars square, and remember, Mars is kind of in the mix here. Okay, it's conjunct Pluto, which again intensifies this whole story. Often there's some kind of sexual conflict and tension. The fact that her husband is a cheater fits very well in here, but I wouldn't generalize this because the Venus Mars square can have many many meanings. I mean, there's books written about just this aspect itself. Um, it's a difficult one. Besides, it can also indicate diplomacy, being a salesman in a way, and being great at public relations. Now we still have the square, which make things difficult. So there's some kind of process of refinement here. It it's always hard to say if somebody is good at it or bad. But I mean, since we know that she's a successful politician, we can safely say that she really refined this whole thing. She really improved on this, and yeah, let's just leave it at that. So here's another interesting thought. She obviously is one of the most influential women in the world, and Venus obviously stands for the feminine, and Mars stands for the masculine. Now, we're safe to assume that there was a lot of resistance and pushback from men throughout her career. Obviously, politics is still male dominated. But over the years and decades, she kept on fighting, which is also represented by the fact that we have lots of hard aspects in her chart. Okay, those are the red lines that you can see. So, here we have someone who had to fight in order to get where she's at. All right. So, honestly, I have to stop here. Those were just a few notes on the horoscope of Hillary Clinton. Again, unfortunately, we don't have her exact birth time. If you go to Astro Data, astro.com, just Google it. The birth time is kind of conflicting. Everybody kind of says something different, so that kind of sucks. But what do you want to do about it? And I don't like to get too speculative. But I think we gathered some interesting information, and will she be the next president? The truth is, based on astrology, it is hard to say. Again, because we don't have enough data. which means we don't really know about her house placement, and we can't really put that in correlation with the current transits. Okay. However, I actually just saw something really interesting, which I'm going to talk about in the next video, just briefly. Who will be the next president? So watch the next video, find out. All right. Until next time. Have a beautiful day.